Beaumier to the show today. She's a tapestry artist and she's going to show us some of her work. So, actually, Julia, why don't you start a little bit by telling us a little bit of your journey to becoming a weaver?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so my name is Julia, and I found weaving during the pandemic. Like a lot of people, I suddenly had a lot of free time and was looking for something to do. So I bought an embroidery kit, and then I bought like a punch needle kit, and then I got a weaving kit for Christmas, like the first COVID Christmas, so 2020. So I didn't start weaving until January 2021. But quickly became very obsessed with it and like was just kind of doing it for fun, but my walls were like covered in weavings. And
Yeah.
um about a little less than a year after that, I opened up like my Etsy and started an Instagram. And now I'm weaving all the time. So
Is it your full-time job now?
no, it is not. So I do have a
Okay.
9 to 5.
Okay.
So um but it's nice to be able to, spend a lot of my, like, free time doing something that I really enjoy, and I've taught a few classes, this year, so that was fun, or last year, I guess, so and, like, I'm just kind of venturing into, like, making kits and, like, fiber packs for new weavers, so, um, definitely something that I feel like I kind of push on people, like, I'm like, "Oh, do you want a hobby? It's really fun."
It is.
But, yeah, so that's kind of how I fell into weaving, but yeah, I wish it was my full-time job, but I
And
do love my job.
you're doing like just tapestries at this point, right? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, it's on my list to do, like, a pillow, but my mom's a big sewer, so I was like, "Maybe we could tag team it, like, I'll do the square and then you can do the sewing."
Yeah.
So, that's gonna be it's a goal for 2023.
Oh, good. All right. Well, let's see what you've got. What can you show us?
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm working on right now is on my Bonza loom from Roving Textiles. So this is my first sideways weaving. So it's gonna go. It
Oh,
won't
I
let
see.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, so this will be the fringe at the end. So I'm kind of excited about it. It's my first sideways one, and it's all white, which is I've made some all white ones before, but I usually like to work with color. But um, I had just finished like a really big colorful one, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. Um, but here on my wall, I've got some other like some finished pieces. So I made this one this summer.
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
it was really fun to make. And it's just like a bunch of so basically I'm like I moved home. So I spend some of my time in Grand Rapids and then some of my time at my parents, which is like an hour away. And I like was weaving so like some of my stuff was here, some of my stuff was at my parents, and I was weaving at their house. And I was like, okay, these are the colors I'm gonna use. And like because it was the only yarn I had, but I love like how it turned out. But it was kind of a fun little experiment. And
And where
then
do you get your yarns? Or
all
some of it
different.
looks like roving? Is it roving, some of it?
Yeah, some of it's roving. So I get a lot of it from Roving Textiles, which is where I got this loom. Which Michelle and her dad like make that, or I guess her dad makes them like by hand, and like
Oh, neat.
it's really really awesome. But she also has a lot of fibers, so I get a lot of stuff from her. I get some from Funem in Belgium,
Oh,
and
wow.
then Naroma Studios is like where I get a lot of my like cord. And then Loom Denim is where I get a lot of like the fun, like really scrappy hand spun yarn. Like this here. I'm like obsessed with it, and I have I kind of have like a big collection of it right now. So I'm like trying not to buy any yarn. Um
Good luck with that.
yeah, it's hard. Um, but and then this is like a little bit more traditional, like very linear. But I made this one. It was my first time using a heddle bar. Was making this weaving because usually I just do it without the heddle bar, but it definitely makes it a lot easier to do, like, tabby if you're doing a
Oh,
lot of tabby, but
yeah,
I feel like I typically am, like, not, like, I'm not very linear usually, like, in my work.
right. Yeah. I saw a lady, I was looking online today and I'm sadly can't remember her name, but she was doing it was all like linear tabby, except she was making a face in the middle, and I thought that's really cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. I feel ashamed of myself that I can't remember the artist's name. I don't know. Sadly, I can't think of it. I'm in a modern weaving group on
Yes.
Facebook. Yeah, it was in there. I saw it. Yeah, I thought that
Okay.
was pretty neat.
Oh, I'm gonna look for that after.
Yeah, for sure. So do you have more things to show us or no? I know you've been
Yes.
shipping stuff out. So yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, but I'm surrounded by weavings right now.
Okay, good.
Um, so this one is, like, a little, like, nautical inspired, and
That's
I there
Are
was
those beads?
2. Yes, these are wooden beads.
Oh,
Um,
fun.
so, like, I had, like, a sister one of this that, I don't have anymore, which is, like, always a good thing and a bad thing. Because like, honestly, a lot of my weavings, like, are, just part of my apartment now, but, like, it is always fun like, it's of course, you wanna sell things, but it's, like, kind of sad to say goodbye sometimes. I
Mhm.
don't know if you feel the same way.
I've sold enough. It doesn't bother me to
It
sell
doesn't
this.
bother you?
I think that working on a loom maybe, and I work pretty quickly on my loom, like I don't have time to get so attached to things.
Mhm.
Like when you're doing every little thing by hand, I think it's a little different. I
Yeah.
have a tapestry. I've only woven one tapestry and it hangs in my kitchen. Like that's never going anywhere.
Yeah.
I feel emotionally attached to that piece, but my weavings that I do, no, I don't feel emotionally attached to them.
That's fine. Yeah, one of my favorite pieces that I've made, is I don't have right now, but it's not sold. It's that, so my parents live in Montague, Michigan, and they have this, it's like this art council, it's called the Art Council of White Lake, I think, and I taught a class there earlier this or in 2022, and, they are doing like an artist student like exhibition or exhibit. So everybody who was like in the classes or teachers got to display their work. So I submitted like one of my favorite ones for it. But I feel like I have certain weavings that like I make super quickly. Like so that one was pretty big, like mm, not big enough. um, like it was like wider than that, but I had made it like right after my like family's dog had passed away, so I feel like it was like really emotionally like charged by that, and then like it always just makes me think of her when I'm like when I it's usually hanging right in my apartment, but um that one is definitely like if I sell it, like it's like okay, you're gonna have to like rip it out of my hands.
Yeah, I think tapestry weavers are more emotionally.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but a lot of the weavers I've had on this channel have said like it's the tapestry weavers that get really attached to their pieces. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. And then I have these scrappy pieces that, so I have like bags and bags of scraps, in my apartment, and it's like not great. So I'm like, okay, I've got to get rid of these. So I'm like right now committed to doing these like really scrappy fun pieces. So it's like
Okay.
all made with Ryan knot. So I have a few. So here's one of them. Um, this one is the most recent one I completed. So I did a commission. It took me like 5 months, but I had a bunch of scraps from it. So this is like all the scraps, not all the scraps from it, but only using the scraps from that
Wow.
weaving, which it was fun. Um, and then this is another one that's similar, but these are scraps
Okay.
from my first class that I taught. So
Fun.
that was fun.
You see me
And
looking over. I'm looking at my computer because it's much larger on my computer screen. I can see it
yeah.
better.
I know, I was looking if, like, I could do it on my computer, and it's, like, just a mobile feature, so I was like, "Okay, I can
Yeah.
do it on my phone," but um, and then this is one that's in progress, so this one is, like, honestly, I think my favorite of the scrappy ones, like, it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun, like, all the colors are just, like, I don't know. And then
And
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you said you sell your stuff on Etsy?
So
Did you say that?
I technically have an Etsy, but I, mostly just use my website, so it's just jennaandjules.com.
I'm gonna put the link to
I
that in the description, sorry,
okay,
and to your Instagram as well. So anybody
cool,
watching this on in the replay, because it's not there now, I'll have the links there.
awesome. Yeah, so I my problem is I feel like it takes me a long time to list things actually. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff is listed, but like the one I showed you at the beginning, like just haven't taken the measurements yet. And I made it a while ago, but I just need to take the measurements and put it on the website. But yeah, so I primarily sell through my website. And then I do a few like I've done some markets too, which are always fun. Like I love meeting other makers and just like chatting with people. And it's funny because people always come up and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so fun! Like, I love macrame." And then you're like explaining, like, "Well, it's kind of like macrame, but not quite," or like, "Oh my gosh, your crochet is beautiful." It's like so funny.
Yeah, people don't like, it's all fiber arts to a lot of people,
Yeah.
right? They don't know God, like crochet from knitting, from weaving, from yeah, actually the white piece that's behind you that you're working on, I was thinking because it's all white, it reminds me of macrame. Like it's just that I think it's the whiteness because macrame is often in white. But
Yeah. I know. I think it's right here. Yeah. Um, I have this piece I made that's like very macrame, but it's weaving, but I used like
oh yeah.
board, um, which I've made. I made two pieces like this, and I only have this one left, but it is very like macrame, but it's like very neutral. Like could
Yeah.
go pretty much anywhere, um, which is fun.
But do you do any macrame any either? Or-
No, I don't. I've thought about it, but like some people, their weavings are like perfect. You know what I mean? Like they're like very symmetrical and like they're very like this type of style. But I'm more of like I would say like a little chaotic with my weaving. Like there's not necessarily a rhyme or a reason. Like I just kind of like well when I'm weaving, I just like do whatever like do whatever I want basically. And I
Yeah.
know macrame is not that way. Like there's lots of counting and like lots of make like almost like knitting where like if you miss something, like it's gonna look bad. So
Yeah, that's true. That's fair enough.
yeah.
But I don't know. I do a little bit of macrame. I just find it's a lot of fun. Like I didn't do this piece on my wall here. I bought that piece, but you know what? I
Okay.
bought it. I brought it home and I'm like, it's not right. I undid a whole bunch of it and redid it because it was because I'm like, that's not right. I have to fix. I couldn't stand it not being right. It wasn't
That's so
symmetrical from
funny.
one side to the yeah. So, but I do like doing macrame. I have like
See,
plant.
that's what would happen if I did macrame and you bought one of my pieces. You
Yeah,
would
I'd
you
be
would have to
undoing it.
undo part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I just didn't like the whatever. I like sameness. But
Yeah.
I do like free flowing too. Like with tapestry, I feel like it's okay to be that way, but you're right,
Yeah.
not with macrame. You're right. It's got to be more precise,
Yeah.
I think.
But the white one I'm working on is it's more like I haven't decided quite yet if it's gonna be like perfectly symmetrical, like this and this, but it's definitely a lot more like linear and like I I hope that it's gonna be like at least like maybe not perfectly symmetrical, but like cohesive enough, where but yeah. and then I have these, like, little mini ones that I made originally as ornaments, but, then I was like, "You know what? These are just kinda cute on their own." Like, they're too heavy, honestly, for a Christmas tree because of the copper pipe.
Oh,
Um, but I just, like, have I feel like I just have them randomly around my apartment, and, like, I think they'd be so cute in, like, a dorm room or, like,
or a baby's
um
room. Be cute
yeah, a
in a
baby's
baby's room.
room. Yeah, speaking of babies, um, I so one of my friends had a baby last year, and I used, like, these little wooden beads to, put the baby's name on it,
Oh.
um, and I'm making a new one now for another baby, soon to be here baby, but, it's really fun, like, to kind of do something custom for, like, a friend or, um, like a family member or something like that. It's, like, so special, like, to have something hanging in, like, their baby's room.
You should take pictures of those and put them on your store, maybe you have, and then people
I
could custom or like, order, like, "Oh, my baby's name
Yeah,
is whatever."
that's actually a good idea. I've not done that because I've had them at a market, but I'll say, like, "Oh, I can customize it," but I've never put it on my store, so that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, because I could see people love custom things for their babies, right?
Mhm.
I'm in the baby wear like, my business is baby wraps, like, that's the
Yes,
kind of thing
yeah,
I do, so people I don't know, if you cater to babies, it's a good business, I think, because
yeah,
people, like, have custom things for their babies.
yeah, they
And
do.
they like good quality things too, like, I don't know, I feel like just handcrafted things are so there's a whole crunchy movement around having handcrafted things, right? I don't know if you've
Yeah,
watched that. She's on every platform, really very crunchy. Oh my god, I love her.
yes. I know, she's so funny.
Jerk. She's the best. I love her. I actually sent her a message yesterday. I'm like, "Hey, do you want some hand like tea?" Because she gives out a gift basket once a month. I'm like, "She should have like a little tea towel or something in there. That would be
Oh,
fun."
that's such a fun idea.
Anyway,
I hope she responds.
I hope she does too. I'm such a fan. Okay, do you have anything else you can show us?
Yes,
Or
yeah,
no? I mean,
I do. So I have this one. So I lived in DC for a couple of years. So this one was inspired by the DC cherry blossoms. So it's
oh,
very pink, very like it honestly would be great for like a little baby girl's room, I think.
yeah,
But
sure.
I yeah, I think I might be back in DC like around the March timeframe. So I'm like fingers crossed that the cherry blossoms are going to be out.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, so this one was like a fun one to work on.
Do you name your pieces?
Sometimes, sometimes I
Yeah.
feel like that. I don't know. So sometimes I feel like the names are like silly or um like almost like I'm like, oh, am I embarrassed to say the name of this? I didn't name this one, I don't think, but maybe I did. It probably has a name on my website, but like I named this one like sunset in the forest. Because it looks like a sunset in the forest, right? Um, and then with the scrappy ones, I like, do you know those like the meme of like chaotic good, chaotic evil, like neutral bad, or like neutral
No, I
good?
don't.
No, it's like um, I don't know, like a meme thing. But I was thinking of the scrappy ones. I was gonna name them like similarly because this one I feel like is chaotic good. Like it's just like I don't even know. It's chaotic something, but like this one is like neutral good. Like it's white. It's like
Gotcha.
very like I made sure all of the pieces are like actually the same length. But I don't know.
Hmm. So, like
It's
a
like a little
series.
yes.
That's interesting.
Um, and then actually the other piece that I have in that exhibit in my parents' town, it's one of my favorite. I don't have one right here, or actually I have a cloud one over here. I'll go grab it.
Okay.
So I got these like shape looms from Northwood and Pine, who is actually someone I think I forgot to list her when I was saying where I get my yarns. But she has a lot of great stuff, and they come in smaller quantities, so, like, it's a little bit more affordable to, like, experiment with, like, a new material rather than buying, like, a $40 thing of yarn. Like, you can buy a smaller quantity for, like, 10 bucks. But she also sells these shape looms, which are, like, so fun.
Mm.
Like, they're just, like, they've got holes pre-drilled in them. But I have a semicircle one that I made that, like, that that one's name kinda cracks me up, but, it's just the bright unknown because it kind of looks like outer space and it, like, but I feel like my, like, whatever, my family is always, like, laughs at the little names I come up with. But I don't know how people name their stuff.
It's
It's
hard.
hard.
Your that it looks like a cloud, right? That little loom?
Mhm.
So do you leave the piece on that, or do you would you t it doesn't come off, it's just part of the
Yep, it's just
yeah,
part of it. And you can just, like, put a nail, like, you can just, like, stick it on a nail on the wall, or
yeah.
I've also put, like, a wire hanger, so it's, like, a little easier to hang up, but
Mm.
yeah, I love the little clouds. Like I said, I usually don't work in, like, all white, but, it's fun once in a while.
Yeah, I like the all white look.
Yeah,
I think that I know I like a lot of color typically. My favorite color is orange. But I know my daughter, she's 26, her like it's all white and cream and like pastel-y, really pale colors. And I feel like that's more trendy for that age group maybe. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I like it. It's beautiful, but I'm definitely drawn to brighter colors. Even
me
though
too.
I love this. Like I like light too. I don't know. Now I'm rambling.
Yeah. Trying to one fun thing I have is, so for Earth Day last year, my, like, big passion in, I guess, outside of weaving is, like, sustainability and the environment. So I made these pieces last year out of trash that I had saved.
Okay.
Um, so this one I still have. It's, plastic, all
Oh,
different types of
wow.
plastic, and then this is even like a plastic straw is holding it. But you can't really see it well here. It's kind of shifted as it's aged, but this says this is a poly bag. It was like one of those, I don't know, like those bags that you get when you order clothes online. It was like one of those bags, but it was just like kind of fun to make this, and like I work in the plastic space now, so this is hanging up by my desk, but just kind of fun, but yeah, I did it as, like, an Earth Day, like, awareness type thing, but, um, who knows, maybe I'll do it again this year, but I haven't been saving any of my trash, so
Interesting. I know, one of the weavers I had on that does tapestry a little while ago, Pat, buys she uses clothes or actually, I'm sorry, she wasn't a tapestry weaver, she does rug hooking. And she buys,
okay.
like, clothes and blankets and stuff and cuts them up and uses that. So it's all upcycled stuff. I thought that's really
Yes.
cool too.
I do that too, like, with things that can't be, well, sometimes it's like, "God, I love this shirt, but it has this, like, awful stain on it," or, "I ripped it." And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't really wanna throw my shirt away, like, this shirt has a lot of memories. I feel like I get, like, very sentimental with things, which is, like, maybe not the best thing, but I'm like, it's hard for me to say goodbye to, like, a shirt that I've worn, like, 100 times. Um, so I've done that, like, cutting it up and using it, and I've also seen online, like, somebody was, like, for someone who had passed away, like, they had incorporated, um, their old clothes for, like, the family, and I thought that was, like, such a sweet, like, sentimental, like, how meaningful is that, you know?
Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's
And
such a
then
nice
have you seen the weaver who does wedding dresses?
No.
She uses wedding dresses. Like, so,
Oh,
like, if you got married and you didn't want to, like, necessarily keep your dress forever, like, in a box, which is, like, I feel like every mom
well
has a box, and they're like, "My daughter's gonna wear this someday." My mom has a box, but, um, she, like, cuts up the wedding dress, which I think it's, like, such a personal decision if you would ever wanna do that or if, you wanna sell it, but then she makes these beautiful weavings out of the wedding dresses, which is I can't remember her name, but I just think they're so cool.
That would be cool. I see wedding dresses in the thrift shops all the time. Like, people get rid of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've divorced, maybe you don't wanna keep the piece, but, also, like, I have kept I still have my wedding dress from my I'm divorced from my daughter's father. Anyways, and my daughters are married now, so they chose to not wear that dress. I left it as an option for them. So now I'm like, what am I gonna like? I guess I'll like I don't want to just throw it in the garbage. It just seems
Yeah.
yeah. But maybe I could make a tapestry and then the girls could have them, like my
Yeah,
daughters.
that would be so cool.
That would be not a bad idea. And I wouldn't feel bad about that. I don't
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
used my veil. My oldest daughter just got married a few months ago, and my granddaughter was in the wedding, and she wore my veil. Like, I just modified it
Oh,
a little bit, so she wore it as she was the flower girl in the wedding.
that's
It was
so
so cute.
sweet.
Yeah, it was really cute. Anyways, I guess I'm getting off topic. That's that's neither
It's
here nor
easy
there.
to.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's great. I've enjoyed chatting with you and seeing your work. So I'm going to add those links to your website and your Instagram page. I see you post all the time, right? Like, you're really active.
Yeah, I do post a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a
Like,
good thing. You want to. You
yeah,
have to. You
yeah.
have to. That's the
You
thing, right?
do, yeah, and I used to be like, "Oh my god, I have to get new things to post," but now I feel like I'm like, "Okay, if I make a weaving, I'm gonna take a million pictures of it, and then I've got a million things to post." So I
Yeah.
posted, like, my last piece a million times, but, like, people like, someone commented and they were like, "I see something new every time I look at this, and I, like, love it," and it's like, "Okay, so it's not even annoying to people."
Right.
They like it.
People really like to see action shots too. Like, if you take little videos of you working, people
Yeah.
love that. That's the stuff
Oh,
that they love the most, I think.
yeah, that's actually, so I'm on TikTok too, and my TikTok, they're probably about even now, but, like, when I first started, like, my TikTok got a lot more followers, like, a lot more quickly than I got on Instagram, but
Yeah,
people do love the videos,
the video.
so that's really fun, and I also have, like, a little Weaving 101 series on TikTok, which I haven't
Oh,
figured out how to make a playlist, but,
is there
they're
a way to make
there.
a playlist on
There
TikTok?
is, but I think only some people have access to it, but I don't
Mm,
know.
that's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it. You have to have, like, however many followers before you can do it.
Yeah. So,
There's so
stay
many
tuned.
there's so many platforms, it's so hard. I try and do stuff on all the different platforms, and it's like, they're all a little different, and it's weird. Some stuff will take off on one platform and flop on another, and you just never know. I just put
Yeah.
it everywhere. Alright, well, thank you for coming. We're gonna wrap
Of
this up.
course.
Unless you have
Thank you
anything
for
else you
having
really wanna
me.
is there anything else you wanna nope. Are there
No.
any questions from anybody watching? I haven't seen any questions come in. Okay, well, we'll give them another second, but I'm gonna thank you for showing up, and I can't wait to I'll be posting, like I said, in the description, and best of luck to you. I'm very happy to
Thank
see young people
you.
coming into the industry of the weaving. It's exciting. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up and say good night. Thanks for
Awesome. Good
coming.
night. Thank you for having
Bye.
me.
You're
Bye.
welcome.